Hello, Kirby World, and welcome to our second edition of our Year in Growth workshops. We have a very special guest with us here today, Mr. Tyler Johnson from Ames, Iowa. And just before we introduce Tyler, we want to just say something. Congratulations, Tyler, on becoming a Diamond +1 Gold Circle distributor. I think this is your 7th year in a row, that's like winning 7 Super Bowls in a row. I would call you the Tom Brady of Kirby, but I know you're a Cowboy fan. You probably wouldn't like that, so we won't go there with that. But we do have some questions. This is a chance where we get time to take and interview some of the top distributors and top supervisors, ask them a few questions that's going to help you in the field, maybe start to turn your career path around or get your growth in your distributors you like. So, Tyler, the first question we'd like to ask you, and we really appreciate you taking time to join us today. You know, when we talk about selling as a learned skill, and no one's a born salesperson, so when you're running your teams, because we know you're a field guy, you're always running your teams in the field, what do you do to help a dealer focus on how to grow through that learning curve and put them on a path to get promoted to the next team leader or distributor trainee?
Yeah, thanks, Randy. And yeah, I think I think Kirby is a real simple business, and I think as long as you keep it simple, I think it's really easy to move up in Kirby. I think I was taught from day one. You got to learn how to get into a house. You have to learn how to do a demo, and you have to learn how to close a sale. Then I think if I was to add something to that, I'd probably add, learn how to recruit a buddy, learn how to bring a buddy in, learn how to train that buddy up, right? Learn how to duplicate yourself. But I think sometimes it gets overcomplicated, and I see it happen a lot. Like, hey, what are we doing wrong? We're doing this, we're doing that, and I think at the end of the day, all we have to focus on is, hey, if you want to sell more, just do more demos. I was never the best salesperson. I mean, I was pretty terrible when I started. I think, I probably had like a 1 out of 7 or 8 or 9 closing average when I started. So, it was pretty bad. But all that I guess what I learned from that is, hey, I just had to do 7 or 8 or 9 demos, in order to sell one. Whereas some of my people that I started with, they were selling 1 out of 3 or 4 or whatever, but, I think we just got to stick to the basics, stick to the basics, just if you want to sell more, do more demos. I think, one of the things that I think helps people with a better closing average is getting yourself in, not relying on, somebody knocking you into a house, or not relying on, somebody spoon feeding you appointments or something like that. All of my guys, they know how to get in. They're self-sufficient. And I think that's why my guys sell more than, most. So, but I think, going back to, selling as a skill, keep track of your stats. It's impossible to get better if you don't know where you're at right now. So if you're at a 1 out of 4 or 5 closing average, keep track of that, and then review it, next week, and review it the following week, and, so on. So, I think,
very well said there.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Positive.
I like it. Hey, we got more questions. Mark Kilo here, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're at Michael's living room. I got a question for you, sir. I think you've had a tremendous mind shift. After getting your Diamond Circle ring and heading into this year, you became a supervisor as well as, again, a high volume distributor. Question being, what do you consider the main factor behind this new type of growth that you're experiencing in your distributorship, and obviously carrying over into your division this year?
I'm super pumped for this next year. 2026, I think, is going to be pretty incredible for us. We're gearing up for a big year. We're gearing up, hey, we did 7 years of Gold Circle in a row, but it was, it was a lot of, I don't know how you want to chop it up, but anyways, we sold 7 years of Gold Circle. I think we're going to give that a run this year with just DTs, selling Kirby's. And, hell, just the last few months, we've had just a huge increase with DTs. And I'm not just talking about a DT on paper, guys. I'm talking about a DT with a recruiter, with their own dealers, running their own Kirby business, really, and what's neat to see about that is, they're getting out of Kirby the same thing that I got out of Kirby. Being a DT isn't just a dealer with a good cause. Being a DT is, recruit your own dealers, run your own team, buy and sell your own Kirby's, run your own business. And, I think we're teaching that. And I think these guys are buying in. I got Sarah right down in Wichita. I think she's going to hit that 65 and drive. We're super proud of her. I could go down the list. We got like 4 or 5 people that are just really doing just an outstanding job right now. I got Tim Ducey over in Bloomington. He's doing a fantastic job recruiting his own dealers. Getting Silver K dealers, getting people qualified for the pro club. Got Bertram down in Quincy. Same thing. The Evans brothers over in Boone. Same thing. They got their own dealers. Not working with like retread, Kirby guys, they're working with their own dealers. Because my experience, hey, if you want a good solid team, you need to recruit them yourself. Maybe not yourself, maybe your recruiter, but you need to train them yourself, and you need to work by them. You need to work with them, every day until they're doing what, you expect of them. Because the whole selling Kirby's from the couch just doesn't work. You need to lead by example. And if you're not willing to do that, well, hell, maybe you're not willing for the next level. But I think, and I've lived it the last, 7 years, Kirby at the top is the best level in Kirby. There just isn't another Kirby that I would ever. I just wouldn't do it if I wasn't doing it.
Well said, sir. You've been a great example of being a field man and being a leader. Glad to hear you're making that shift. What do you got, Randy?
I was going to say, that you just mentioned it a moment ago. You'd mentioned about if you're going to be a DT, learn how to recruit your own people. Kirby Life, recruit your buddies. And Kirby Life has been a successful factor in so many stories in Kirby, especially in yours. Is that something you feel is important in your organization? You kind of touched on that. And how do you promote that to everyone in your office when you talk about Kirby Life?
Yeah, we're pitching Kirby Life every day. As I guess I should have asked y'all who's watching or who's going to watch this, but I guess at the end of the day, it's probably good for everybody here. I tell my guys why I pitch it. I pitch it because it's the most, hey, if you want to work less and get more, Kirby Life is the way to go. Like, I don't have to recruit 10 dealers to get a Silver K. I can personally recruit one person and I can get them to a Silver K. If I have my dealers bringing in people, I can recruit 2 people and I can get them to a Silver K. Now, obviously, we need all of it to work, but I think the most efficient, the most efficient way to get Silver K dealers and to get people, moving up in Kirby, I think it's through Kirby Life. And I guess that's what, that's what, really caused us to have a huge increase, whatever it was 10 years ago. And we just bought in, back then and ever since. If I was rebuilding my organization right now, I'd do it through Kirby Life. It's a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, you've done a tremendous job. You're the #1 Kirby Life guy, obviously, in the world. Hey, you kind of were talking, and I think this is what the audience would love to hear. You're out there running a crew on all the push months, but how are you taking that dealer and literally, if there's a secret to your success, taking that dealer, getting their mindset to become a team leader and then a DT? How are you making that transition, Tyler?
Yeah, I think it's not just me. It's never been just me. It's like our whole team. You know what I mean? Like, someone brand new starts with me. I got, we have like literally the greatest management. A lot of those guys have been promoted to DT. So that's why we've had this huge increase with, DT sales. And I know that's why they're going to be, look at the top for them, because I know that's where they're going to be hanging out. When you recruit somebody and if you want to get them to move up in Kirby, it's like anything else, just talk about it. If we're talking about it all the time, because what the hell, they're going to go home. they're not getting recognition at home. They're not ever being told, hey, great job for, this, or great job for that, or whatever. They're being told that they're, I mean, y'all seen it, so, with the recognition, obviously, hey, they need to sell, like we need to make them real money, right? Because recognition only goes, so far. That's one thing that I see too. If you're running a van, get into the house, right? Like I want my best salespeople like in front of the customer. Like I want my best people in front of the customer. If you want to sell the damn thing, get in front of the customer and get it sold. Kirby's have never been easier to sell. Like literally, we've never, Kirby's have never been easier to sell. We have the best machine, on the freaking planet, with all the upgrades that they made. And we have the best demo. We have the best, we have the best training, right? Like it's never been easier to bring in someone brand new that's never sold anything. And I mean, hell, we can give them the little app, right? And we can say, hey, memorize these sales clinchers, right? And they'll come back. And when we put them into a house, they're actually going to know what to say, right? And I know when I started, and probably, Mark and Randy, when you guys started, you probably had to buy them on like 8 tracks, right? Like I know my folks told me about those things, right? You had to like put them in like this big box thing, right? If you wanted like training, you had to buy like a big 8-track. Like now,
No, we had them on a little chalkboard, Tyler. We had the little chalkboard, the mini chalkboard, and we used to have to write them out and erase them. Yeah, you're a funny guy, buddy.
Reality is though, guys, when I started, if you wanted to get better, you had to pay for it. We had people like Padano and, other consultants coming around. We had to take our money, and we had to buy the CDs, we had to buy the DVDs and all that stuff. And of course, the people that want to get better did it, right? And but now it's all free. It's right on your phone, right? Yeah. It's all free. It's on your phone. You can learn, 24/7. Like, hey, rather than getting on, and I'm not on social media, but hey, rather than getting on and seeing all this goofy shit out there, you can get on your phone. You can actually educate yourself, which is actually going to make you some money, down the road.
And I think that's so true, because you're always a constant teacher, and you're telling people the tools that are out there available to do it. But here's my question for you. I know you've accomplished so much in Kirby. You mentioned 10 years ago you bought into Kirby Life, and now you've gone 7 years Gold Circle in a row. I know you've won every President's Award that's out there, from all the rings, and then you've won the watches and the Gold Circle bracelet. You won the car by selling over 1,200 sales. I guess my question is, what continues to drive you when you've accomplished so much? And I guess I'm asking you, what is your why? What do why do you continue to just excel in Kirby?
Yeah, thanks, Randy. So I think the last, like that 6-year plan, that was real easy for me because, like my mentors in Kirby, like Reitmeyer and Blaylock and, some of these other guys that have done Diamond Circle, Tisha Finley, Tisha and Mike Finley, my mentors in Kirby, they had all these guys that had and girls that had done that. We wanted to do it. So that was real easy for me. That was real easy for me to buy into. That was real easy for me to get my guys bought into. And then this last year, it was like, hey, it happened. It kind of happened on accident. And now, like, I kind of have like a little reset. And now we're at a different, point in our career. And now I want to figure out the next level. And I feel like there's like a fire inside me. That I used to have when we were going for that Diamond Circle. So I'm excited for the next level. And I guess to answer your question, Randy, everyone has a different why. Mine is, I just want to be the best at whatever position I'm doing. And I never used to be like that. And for those of you guys that are out there that are like, oh, I don't care about the trip, or I don't care about this, or I don't care about the, the thing that they have up to win, or I don't care about the rug, or I don't care about the cutaway, or this or that. Like, stop lying to yourself. Like, who wants to go home and look at a loser? You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, when I crawl into bed at night, like, Michelle knows that, like, hey, when I get home, like, I'm a freaking winner, and we're winning at the top level. My guys want to win at the top level. Like, stop lying to yourself. Win everything that's there. I want to win at supervisor level. I want to grow this thing. I want to, I want to win these trips at that next level. And I'm excited for the challenge. And but you know what? Winners win, and I know I'm going to do it.
Nice. And we're going to, the last question come from Mr. Hilo here.
Hey, very well said. You kind of covered this, but in summation, 2026, with that win everything attitude, what are you going to do or continue to do? What will be your strongest feature for 2026?
Yeah, it's I don't know what you want to call it, but it's going to be different for us. We've never done it before, but we want to excuse me, we want to grow our division, and we're going to grow it through DT's recruiting every single week. I know it's possible because if you look in the last 3 months, we've taken people that we've taken people that, hell, maybe they didn't even think they were good enough to be a DT. We've taken them, and this is all the credit goes on them. Really none is on, Michelle and I, but, we've taken them and we've got them to the next level. They've bought into what we're selling, and they have their own recruiters. If they don't have their recruiter, they're going to get their own recruiter. We have traveling recruiters. We have people traveling. We have them going into their own office. Like even just this week, we have another recruiter training to travel. So that way we're never going to miss a week recruiting at any of these offices. I know most of my DTs, I think our last one, the Evans brothers, I think they're booked for this coming Monday to fly into Cleveland and spend some time with Mark and Randy up there to get trained on, all the new ways to recruit. And I know that's helped us tremendously. So with that being said, I think we're going to take it to the next level with the DTs recruiting every single week, and that's what we're going to do this next year.
Awesome, sir. We really do appreciate that, and thanks for the plug for Randy and myself. You're the man. You're doing a hell of a job. Congratulations. It's great to see that shift from you running a crew to sell 300, 400, 500, and now having these guys that used to be on your crew, each in their own office. So many more men make many more sales. Dealers doing demos. What a phenomenal interview. Can't wait to see this go out to all of Kirby World. What do you got, Randy?
You take us home, sir.
We are positive.
And we are out.
Thank you, Mr. Tyler Johnson.